Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out the new-ish reformulated Huda Luminous Matte Faux Filter Foundation. I'm going to be doing an application, wear test, so if you want to hear my opinion on this Huda Beauty foundation, then just keep watching. I haven't used a primer today because I want to give the foundation a test just as the foundation to see how long it wears without a primer, and I also won't use a setting spray just to see what kind of performance the foundation gives in terms of wear on its own. So for skin prep I've just used my Beauty Pie Japanfusion Hydra Prep Lotion. That's kind of like an essence, and then I used this again Beauty Pie Über Youth Serum. This has got hyaluronic acid in because I usually use a silicone primer to smooth out the old wrinkles, which I'm not going to do today. But this one does contain hyaluronic acid to plump those out a bit, and it's got a little bit of tackiness to it. So I went for that serum, and then as always I used my Sunday Riley Auto Correct eye cream just to bring a bit of luminosity to the eyes. I went for the shade Panna Cotta. I'm not sure if that's going to match my skin tone. Looks like it might be a little bit dark. Might just get away with it. I of course tried to match myself online. The directions say using 1 to 2 pumps, apply foundation evenly over face with a dense brush or beauty sponge. My preference is for a beauty sponge, so I have my pre-dampened beauty blender at the ready, and there she is. This is the shade Panna Cotta 103G. I'm shaking and it doesn't seem like anything is moving. It is a pump bottle, and I'll start off with 1 pump and then see how I go. That was maybe 1.5 pumps because I was just starting the bottle. That's what she looks like. She is quite thick. Oh, so this is a very thick foundation, and it's not really gliding over the skin. Very, very thick cream. It doesn't feel like it's melting into my skin. It feels like it's sitting on top of the skin, and right off the bat I'm not loving it, I'll be honest, and it makes me want to reach for my sponge to try and bounce this in and maybe even share it out a little bit. Okay, so I was worried about the shade, but I think I'm going to get away with it. It might be a little bit kind of too yellow in its undertone for me. The coverage is no joke, but it's hard work to get into the skin, and I haven't even used any primer. It's looking patchy, and I exfoliated last night. I do not think this would work on dry skin. I'm having a hard enough time spreading it over my oily combo skin. So I've done 1 pump and I still see a blemish peeking through on my chin. Honestly, it's not melting in nicely at all. I'm pretty disappointed. I've never tried the original foundation out before, so if you have, let me know how you found that in the comments, and if you tried both, let me know how you think they compare. So with a lot of effort once I'm getting it melted into the skin. But it's looking okay. I've got patchiness around the nose. I wouldn't say this foundation is easy to work with at all. I really don't want to build it up because I feel like it may look cakey. However, because I want to test it properly for you guys and cover up those spots, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do another pump. That was maybe half a pump out onto the sponge, and I'm going to apply with the sponge as suggested, just to areas where I think I need a bit more. Okay, that's a bit easier. I think because it's such a thick product, not too much is absorbing into the sponge. And that's a lot easier to apply. So, learning curve with this foundation. I traditionally like to apply with my fingers. That did not work out for me this go around. And I'm having a better blending experience. Going straight in with a sponge. Starting to look patchy around the nose. It is kind of emphasizing my pores. It looks okay from a distance actually. That's a really good match. I don't know if I need to necessarily apply any to my neck. Maybe just one pump. Because it is a little yellow for me in tone, I think, that Panna Cotta shade. So I'll just blend a little bit. Looking patchy on my chin. I haven't got the time to have to blend my foundation this much to make it look good. Okay, so I think that's as good as I'm gonna get. Regretting the second pump, but as I say, the full cakey coverage still wasn't concealing all my imperfections. So here I am with 2 pumps of the foundation on. I do see the luminous finish, the matte luminous finish, but I think when you get up really close, it's not looking great. It looks okay from a distance. £33.60 on the Huda Beauty website. It claims to be new and improved. Faux filter is back with the same full coverage and long-lasting properties you know and love from the OG formula, but with 24-hour flexible wear. I wouldn't say it's that flexible. It's collecting in my little crevices around my nose and looking patchy instantly to me. So luminous matte finish, I would agree with that, and it's fragrance free. Yeah, I didn't notice the smell. Just smells like makeup to me. No obvious overwhelming fragrance. The true filter effect gives instant coverage so seamless that it immediately unifies skin tone and texture as it blurs to give a radiant finish. Non-cakey formula. I would not agree with that whatsoever, unless I've just got a Duff bottle. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm shocked it would claim to be non-cakey when I'm just feeling the cake vibes. So it claims to be waterproof, super long wear, 24 hours. I'm not going to wear it for 24 hours, but I will do a wear test. Transfer proof, fade proof, sweat proof, humidity proof, no matter what the weather, occasion or situation. Faux filter, luminous matte will never let you down. Sorry, I don't think it's going to rain here today, so I can't really test that. So it's a liquid, full coverage, matte luminous finish. It is vegan, non-comedogenic. They've added 9 new shades in this new formula. So it looks like there is 39 shades with different undertones. That is the shade range. It has a 4.4 star rating, so it seems to be just me that is not into this. I am struggling to find a negative review, so it may just be that it doesn't agree with my particular skin type. I feel like I look a little bit dry. I feel like my lines look obvious. It might just be because I'm not using that line filling Smashbox primer that I usually use, but my opinion is I don't like this foundation. I had a hard time applying it. I've had it on for a few minutes. I already think it looks cakey and not nice. So maybe not for aging skins. Maybe if you are on the right side of 30, you might have a better experience with this foundation than I have, but I definitely feel like it's emphasising my age, but then it is a matte formula, which is what mattes tend to do. I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup now. I am going to do the complexion products on camera just so you can see how they work on top of the foundation, and I'm going to use Huda products just to give it a fair test, as I'm assuming they will work well together. This is the shade Meringue. I really like the metal tape applicator because when you're using this under your eyes, it gives a lovely cooling sensation. Again, this concealer is very full coverage as well, and I'm going to risk putting some of this in my smile lines because I just want to try and bounce the light out of those, and this is a slightly lighter colour than my skin. I might live to regret this, so I'm going to pat in with my finger. This is a very full coverage makeup day. Then I'm going to take that same sponge and bounce. Now that's brightened up my under eye area, and it is blending well over the foundation. Again, it's taken quite a lot of work to stamp in just because that foundation is such a thick, heavy formula. Gosh. Full coverage queen. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm not going to layer any more concealer on because I'm walking the line. It feels tacky, it feels sticky. Okay, so here we are. I have popped the Huda Overachiever concealer over the foundation. The products do seem to be working well together. However, this super full coverage look, it's just not what I'm used to. I'm now going to take the Huda Tantor to build onto this shellac. I have the shade Fair, and I did a first impressions video where I used this, and I found out that you only need a small amount of product. I will link that video of me trying that out the first time below, and it went crazy. So I am just going to dab a contour brush into this. I'm going to touch it so lightly. I've got a tiny amount of product on the brush, but I know that a little goes a very long way. So I'm going to start very, very slowly with this and just stipple it in with that brush. So another Huda product that has a learning curve. I can already tell that this is going to work out much better than the first time I used it, because I've just used a very small amount. Again, it's another really thick product. I am going to continue working that in with my sponge to melt it into the hairline. I feel like using Huda makeup products is like a workout for my arm, because I have to press so hard. I think she does go traditionally for that full glam look. I know that since she's been focusing on her skincare line, I think she is moving towards more natural products, but traditionally it's quite a heavy makeup look. Shall I just, for fun, for that full glam look, try and contour my nose just with the product left on that brush, since I'm doing the, I think that kind of rubbed some of the foundation off on my nose. Yeah. The foundation, I'm noticing, is looking very cakey on my nose. I would recommend using a smoothing primer underneath this foundation, because it is settling into my pores, exaggerating texture. So here I am with the foundation, the Overachiever concealer, and just a little bit of that bronzer. I'm not going to try and build that up more, because I just think I'm going to end up a patchy looking mess. So I'm going to now take my very well loved Huda 3D highlighter palette. This is a Golden Sands edition and very well loved. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this Zanzibar blush shade. I'm just going to dip into my blusher, tap off my brush. I don't usually like to use powder blush. However, Huda, dipping again, they don't have a cream blush to my knowledge. It's a very sheeny blush, and it is going on nicely over that foundation. Yeah, because it's in a highlighter palette, it's kind of like a highlighty blush. That foundation is patching off on my nose already. I am truly not happy. Should I put on a tiny bit more? Could live to regret this. The foundation, I can tell you, I already don't like it. That's evened it out a little bit for now. However, I'm expecting it to be cakey again soon. I really am. Okay, that's probably enough of that blush, which has gone on quite smoothly. I like that. Finally something I like. And then I'm going to highlight with Seychelles. Oh my gosh, when I smile I can see all my under eye wrinkles. This is not fun for me. I do like that Seychelles highlight, however I think built on top of that blush it's maybe a bit too glowy. And I see the foundation settling into my smile lines. They are emphasised. Wow. Again, I'll try and tap that back in, but I do not have high hopes for how this foundation is going to wear. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to go over this complexion one more time with the sponge. This makeup's creased a little bit under my eyes, because I'm going to set with the Huda Easy Bake powder. So again, I'm expecting that this should work swirl my brush in, tap off. This should, I guess, work nicely with the foundation. Again, if you want to see me testing this powder out for the first time, I do so in a first impressions video that I will link below, where I used that powder with a sponge, and I said I thought I'd have a better time using it with a loose brush, which I actually am. That powder seems to have slightly softened my lines. It is a very velvety powder, so that's nice. That saved the day a bit, I think, this powder, which I know is very highly rated. Wow. Okay, so I would recommend using this foundation with the Easy Bake powder. I somehow think that's improved the situation a lot. However, my lines are still obvious, so it's just an improvement, not a total game changer. So there I am with the new Huda foundation, the new Faux filter, their Overachiever concealer, those complexion products, the Tantar, the Golden Sands palette, and the Easy Bake powder on top. I will go and do my eyes off camera and I will be right back. And I'm back with my eyes on. I used the Huda Obsessions Topaz palette, and I just used this middle pinky nude matte shade in the crease and under the lid. Then I used this kind of coppery gold shade all over the lid, and this kind of lighter gold shade in the inner corner, which I don't think I would do again. I've realised that I forgot to apply eyeliner, so I will go grab an eyeliner now. I'm going to go for this Beauty Pie Ultra Colour Pro Gel Liner in Molten Bronze, just because I think it would match this kind of bronzy eye look that I've done. And I think Huda just have that black double-ended liner, Life Liner, which has got a liquid liner on it, which I'm not really a liquid liner gal. I also used this liner in a first impressions video, so if you want me to expand on that, I will pop the link for that again in the description. Yeah, that kind of works okay. Like I said in the other video where I tested this, not the easiest to get in the waterline, but it works well on the lid. I used the Victoria Beckham mascara for my lashes, just because I like to use a tubing mascara so I don't get panda eye, and just for ease of removal. I don't believe the Huda Legit Lashes is a tubing formula. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And for brows, I just used the Tarte Busy Gal brows in the shade Taupe. I know that Huda are launching a brow pencil soon, but I'm more of a gel gal for my brows. And I'm again noticing that my lines emphasize these lines on my forehead. So the only step I've got left is lips, and I thought I'd try out for the first time because I've never tried it before. I've got a Huda lipstick. It is the matte lipstick in Prom Night. I'm not a huge fan of matte lipsticks, but I'll see what this one is like. I have exfoliated my lips twice. I like how there's a precision tip, kind of. It feels nice and creamy actually, despite being a matte formula. Oh, because I've got such a matte complexion, I should have probably gone for glossy lips, but I wanted to keep it as much Huda as I could today. It's a really nice shade. I like the colour. I just don't love the matte finish. I just got this in a beauty box, so I thought I'd give it a try. Okay, so there is my finished Huda Heavy makeup look. What do you guys think? I think you know what I think. I don't love the foundation. I think it emphasises my lines. I would advise this foundation for maybe if you have young skin, maybe in your teenage years and you are suffering from acne, if it makes you conscious. This might be good for providing that full coverage when you've still got a youthful skin. I would not recommend this for dry skins. I feel like that would not work at all. So maybe if you're in your 20s and want that full coverage, full glam, this might be nice for you. Please comment down below if you are younger than 30, because this might work for you and I'm very interested. But for me, I don't think I'll ever use that foundation again. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it cakes. I don't feel good about myself in this makeup. But I'm still going to do a wear test for you and see how the foundation wears. So I will go about my day and I will be back in a little bit. It is about 8 hours after I put this foundation on, and I'm here to give you my final thoughts. As you're already aware, I don't love this foundation. I thought it looked a bit rough when I put it on, settled into my fine lines, starting to look a bit cakey. A few hours in, it started to settle a bit more into my lines, and now we're here at the 8-hour point. I think my wrinkles are really enhanced. I'm not sure if you can see, it's settled into my smile lines, my brow furrow, under my eyes. This foundation is really emphasising my wrinkles. I would not recommend it for mature skins. I'll just see if with my beauty blender I can kind of refresh it a bit. I haven't touched up any of my makeup all day. It looks crusty. It started to patch around my nose. So really, I wouldn't recommend this foundation at all. The only circumstances I think it may work is if you have very young skin and are wanting, for whatever reason, a full coverage, maybe to cover a lot of acne or acne scarring, or maybe rosacea that takes up a lot of the face, which would be difficult to spot conceal, or for some reason you wanted that kind of matte, full coverage, glam, formal finish. This may work for you. However, it was a lot of work to bounce into my skin, so even for that it wouldn't be my first choice. If you are wanting full coverage, I would recommend the It Cosmetics CC Plus Your Skin But Better. This, I have just the original version. This is a cult favourite. There is a matte version available, which I honestly haven't tried. However, it is very well reviewed, so I don't have any reason to believe it's not kind of stepping up to the original formula. This does claim to be transfer proof as well, so I'll test that out for you. I just have a white muslin cloth, which I pressed that onto my face and a teeny little bit came off. Let's pretend I didn't press that hard and it has come off. So again, I wouldn't say that it is transfer proof. I would say that it does cake, unlike the description. Yeah, I pressed it a little bit lighter and some has still come off just a tiny bit. I didn't want to be unfair, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's transfer proof. I wouldn't agree with the claims that it's not cakey. I find it to be very cakey. I haven't really got very far with trying to buff this in with the beauty blender. It's still very patchy. I'll just see if I can kind of fix it up with some powder. I'm trying to give it a very fair test, but as you're aware, I don't love it. I mean, that's helping a little bit, I suppose, but no, it's patchy. I can't save it. I don't like it. So, as I'm sure you've probably guessed by now, my final thoughts on the new version of the Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation is that it's a bust for me. Heavy, cakey, difficult to work with, emphasises lines and texture, gets patchy. I kind of would want to give it 0 out of 10, but I mean the coverage is quite good, but when I was applying I still could see the pimple poking through on my chin, so it's not even like that trade-off is for amazing coverage. This has amazing coverage and it's easy to apply, light on the skin, so I do not recommend this foundation. I like a lot of Huda's products. I had a good experience using the Tantor. This lipstick actually, the matte lipstick, I'm pretty impressed with. It's faded a little bit, but I have had lunch and a cup of tea. The colour's kind of faded evenly. It hasn't patched off and it's kind of still there. It's emphasising the wintry dryness on my lips a little bit. The eyeshadow stayed nice. So really, really, like a lot of products from the brand, that foundation is just not for me. So now I want to hear from you guys. Have you tried the foundation? Have you tried the old version? Have you tried the new version? If so, what do you think? Were you planning to purchase this one? Have you purchased this one? Have I changed your mind? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below and I will catch you on the next video. Bye guys.